All right. So, this is the first thing of whatever this will turn out to be. But yeah, I am just very bored and I need something to do. So, yeah, how do I already have one person on here? But anyway, the world is very crazy right now and I feel the need to say something about it. Um, there's a lot going on today, and I can barely keep track of it. And the main point of this entire thing is like why I don't like living here. And there's a lot of reasons for that, but the main thing is the weather and just the fact that it's so lonely here and isolating, and sometimes you just really can't handle it and you just have to move on, and that's what I want to do. And yeah, it's I don't really want to participate in a decaying society anymore. Um, yeah, that is my whole deal. Over the past 8 months, I've been just alone and needing something to do, and this seemed like a pretty good outlet for my thoughts and just letting them run out of my head. And I doubt there will be much dead air because I have a bazillion things that I want to say. And yeah, um, I don't know if my microphone is working or whatever, but I'm just going to assume that it is. And we'll go from there. The first thing that I wanted to get into was the topic of weather. And it rains all the time here, and it's like the weather doesn't know how to calm down, and it stops me from going outside, and it just keeps me here in my room. And yeah, I think it connects to my negative mindset, and it just feels really unhealthy for me, just beyond description. And I really just don't vibe here anymore. And um, I've been thinking I've been thinking of moving to Wyoming or somewhere out west, but you gotta save up money for that stuff. And there's just, I don't see a purpose for me being here. Yeah, Naples, Florida is the worst place I will ever live. And I don't wish this upon my worst enemy. I don't wish what I'm going through upon my worst enemy. And it teaches you a lot just living here and existing here. Like you either pull through it or you don't at the end of the day. And um, yeah, tonight I don't really have anything to do because just we've literally just been alone as a species collectively. And it's like we forgot how to treat each other as friends and as just people, really. And it's very frustrating to just comprehend the world's situation right now, especially as someone like me. And there's a lot of anxiety and paranoia and fear, and who who chooses to live like this every single day of their lives? I, for one, feel powerless, and I have for a long time. um, yeah, there is just like, I'll put it into terms like Detroit, for example, is honest about being a shitty place to live, whereas here it's kind of hidden under the surface a little bit, and it's kind of clouded by materialism and the fact that people only live here like half the year, and it's all about the money at the end of the day, and there's really no soul here. And I think that's what I'm missing a lot from my life, is just a soulness kind of feeling. And it's just garbage that we got to go through this every day. I surely didn't expect it when I was younger, and yeah, I felt defeated, and that is the worst thing to consistently experience. Just defeated by circumstance, and yeah, I really well. I mean, there's college and there's work, but there's nothing substantial for my heart. And that's also why I'm starting this thing. Yeah, I really don't have an excuse not to at least give it a try. Um, it's mostly just me dumping out my thoughts anyway. Um, but yeah, I had a pretty rough upbringing, and it's still being compacted by daily events that seem impossible to describe and comprehend. And you have to approach it with a lot of objectivity. And there's just a lot you have to really take in this day and age. Like, even this year isn't the same as last year. It's a completely different world, and it's a completely different way of living now. And I don't think most of us are used to it quite yet. And it's a very traumatic experience, if I'm being honest. I mean, if this is how the world naturally works, I just think there's something seriously wrong with how we're all behaving nowadays and how we respond to certain situations. And I believe that our country was wrong in the way that we dealt with this whole situation. Um, yeah, I'm trying not to be entitled or whatever anymore, which I doubt that is even a really big deal nowadays. But there's just this insurmountable feeling in my heart, and it's composed of anxiety. It's modern anxiety, paranoia, and just the illusion that we're still able to do what we want. I don't know if that's the case anymore. I just feel really lied to, and just beaten by everything that's going on. And yeah, I don't really have a lot of positive things to say about society. I mean, is there really anything worth noting nowadays? I really don't think so. I mean, just look at who's being elected right now. Look at our options. Yeah, I feel like I'm slowly being pinned up against a wall, and it might have been of my own doing. I mean, who knows nowadays, but everything is up for grabs, and it's really like a hellish scenario. But I don't really know what's in store for 2021, and I don't know if I should look forward to things anymore. I don't know if I should look forward to just being a normal person again, because I don't know if I can be after what I've been experiencing for the past 8 months. And it really starts to weigh down on you after a certain point, and you start to doubt yourself. And I don't know, it's just really unhealthy. It's an unhealthy environment. And I've been here since 2008 almost, and nothing's really changed. um, Most of my friends have already moved out, and yeah, that's just how it is now, I guess. I'm the last one of my group to kind of have the drive to move forward in life, despite the epic numbness that most of us probably feel right now. Um, I always forget that I'm not the only one feeling these things, but I've been so by myself that that genuinely feels like the case. um, I don't know. Hopefully, this new method of expression can put myself in an understandable and resonating kind of perspective. Not that I really care how people see me, I just want to be a genuine person. That's what I feel like is the only choice that I have right now. And I just feel angry that this is how everything turned out at the end of the day. And I felt like that I just don't have a voice in any of it. And that's part of the frustration that I feel and I've been feeling. Um, Still, people say that this is my choice, like this life was my choice. And whenever they say that, I press X to doubt immediately because there are some things that I just certainly didn't choose. And yeah, there like in 2008, I 2007 I lost my father, and after that I moved down here. And I've just been trying to make sense of myself ever since, basically. There were a few people in high school who helped me deal with my emotions at the time, but those feelings obviously change, and who you are as a person will inevitably change because of just just everything that's going on. It's kind of comical. It's actually really, really comical. Um, but it's you almost can't put it into words, and you either laugh or you cry about it. I don't know. I don't know who started Antifa or Black Lives Matter or any of that stuff, but they've really slowed us down as I don't know. I that's just how I feel though. They I play no part in that nonsense. Um and I don't wish harm onto people participating in that stuff. I just feel a lot of people are being ignorant nowadays, and ignorance is its own kind of violence, as you can see in Oregon, Portland, Seattle, and all of these places that just went up in flames basically for no reason. Just because we let our beliefs get to us like they do. And I don't think we should take our beliefs that seriously anymore. I don't think everything should be political. I know that's an insane thing to say, but being political and having political beliefs doesn't make you an interesting person. It just makes you a person. So if you really want to stand out, yeah, just don't fall into those kinds of traps. COVID is the worst thing to ever happen to my life. It completely wiped away my social life, and it just turned me into someone that I don't want to be. And I don't want to be angry and frustrated all the time. Like, nobody should live like that. And if I had the option to change this in a heartbeat, I would, but I can't at the end of the day. And just that feeling of still being here, it really gets to me sometimes. I've been single for the past 5 years. and but the thing is, I've gone to therapy and I've tried working on myself, but it just doesn't feel like people recognize that. And I don't feel like I'm getting the credit I deserve at the end of the day just for trying as hard as I'm willing to. And that that's there's a whole spectrum of other stuff that just bothers me. um People bother me. um I don't know, I've always kind of felt like an outcast in most situations. um I've kind of embraced that label though. I really don't talk to a lot of people. But I believe in aliens and ghosts and Area 51's nonsense. I believe all of that. I just believe we aren't getting the right answers. Um, and I'm starting to want to demand those answers from wherever I possibly can. Um, I'm just sick and tired of feeling this weight on my shoulders. And I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, and maybe I should be going through this for whatever reason. But whatever that reason may be, I haven't found yet. And it just leaves me with a lingering feeling of emptiness and um, just like a down feeling. And I really just need to break out of that pattern. And which is also what my therapist even recommends. um, yeah, I really don't support most of what's going on right now in terms of riots and just protests that seem to have no cause anymore. They did when George Floyd was first killed, but I don't know. I think the meaning kind of got lost over time. Um, it's still important to approach these kinds of subjects with empathy and respect for the people that were affected on that day and the ongoing weeks and months. Um, but that doesn't mean that I have to support what's going on right now. Um, I just feel I feel like something else, something better could have been done to protect more people and to we could have just done better as a society and as individuals. Um yeah. There was this video that I saw where this kid this kid was he was literally like 50 feet in the air because he was hoisted into the sky by a kite. And it was at one of these Black Lives Matters protests. And you see the kid, and he's hanging on to the kite for dear life. And thankfully, there wasn't any wind blowing or anything, so the kid was fine, and um, the kite landed and everyone went over to him. But the point I'm trying to make is just we forgot how to look out for each other, and we just forgot who we are as a society. I just yeah. I don't really support Joe Biden. um I think he has dementia. And he is just not fit for leadership. And I'm not saying that Trump is either. I'm still kind of researching everything and trying to take it all in because I believe you should understand both the Republicans and the Democrats. I just don't think we can really box ourselves into these one labeled categories anymore. And I think that they limit us more than anything. And there's really no point in just most of this stuff. It seems very ritualistic, like a Freemason kind of thing. And I don't know, it just seems scripted. And is is this really supposed to be the new normal, or can there be something better? I think there can, but that's honestly just me. um I didn't really have much luck in school either. I went to freaking Barron Collier for 4 years, and that's where I continued to lose my mind until graduation, basically. And yeah, um, the world just feels very different now, and I feel like I'm gonna have to get used to a lot more of this nonsense as time goes on, like the economy going down, and there's just a lot of things we haven't really considered yet that the pandemic will inevitably affect in the future. It's not just about us getting sick, it's about us making sure the economy stays intact and making sure people are fed and making sure nobody is evicted or um, there's just a lot we should be taking accountability for. And I of course am not the person to come to this. I'm just some guy just talking about how he feels. But what choice are we left with when our supposed leaders are turning their backs on us? And it's almost like they want us to get sick, and it's almost like they want us to just rot away in pitiful ignorance. I don't know. We just can be doing a lot better. And I've I've been trying to brainstorm how we can collectively get better as a society. And it's not going to be this utopic thing, but we can get pretty darn close to there if we try and if we come to common ground on a lot of subjects instead of just embracing the diversity and the division theme of this year. Um, a lot of people, I feel, are divided by what's going on, and we sort of lose sight. We've lost sight of unity, community, and all the things that make America, or that did make America, America when I was growing up, at least. Of course, I didn't understand that importance when I was younger, but now as an adult, I kind of get that on a deeper level. Um, it's more important to come to common ground and shake hands than it is to punch each other in the face. Um, like, for example, Trump is making this Middle East peace deal, and I think it has some I think it has some capabilities of pushing things in the right direction, and I applaud him for doing something like that because I haven't really seen anything like that in my lifetime. But he really can't get over China, can't he? And yeah, um, I don't know. I think the politics is just brainwashing material at this point. Reality reality isn't about those kind of reality is a mixture of those ideas and just just everything else. But that shouldn't be the main focal point of reality, because reality can be beautiful and it can be worth fighting for. Um, it can be worth a lot more than what we're projecting, like on a nation wide scale. Yeah, um, there are a lot of there are a lot of distractions in today's day and age, and we all have our vices, we all have our flaws, but I think at the end of the day, that's what makes us more human than succeeding. You know, I think that's the heart of who we are the mistakes that we make and how we're able to execute better solutions, and all it takes is just the willingness to learn from yesterday's problems. Yeah. I guess I'm trying to be a little bit motivational because there's just a lot of hopelessness in today's society. And it's almost like if you approach it with any hope anymore, then yeah, that's the end of it. And I already feel like we're at the end somewhat, as I guess it's the end of how we normally thought of the world. And it's the end of a lot of things. It's the end of our basic understanding of how things are. Um, and you're constantly confronted with this, I don't know, with just this anxiety. And it comes from a lot of areas. It can be whether you're afraid of getting infected from COVID or going to work or going to school or whatever. It all just it all has this strange effect on you now. And I really think the world is at a lower vibration than it was when I was younger. Um, I don't really trust democratic run cities. Just look at what's happening in the cities that are controlled by democratic leaders. There's just whew. I didn't really have a script or anything planned. Yeah, this is literally just coming out of my skull right now. um, but it's just what I've been seeing over the past 8 months, and nobody cares. Nobody cares to talk about it. They don't want to hear. They don't want to hear what you have to think anymore. But some of us find other ways to get around that, obviously. And if people want to listen to my bullshit, then that's even better, you know? I am planning on doing this for about an hour or so. Um, and this doesn't go without saying that I myself can be better as a person. I really feel like I can be better every day given the opportunity to just explain my viewpoint. And I really think I have the skills to make people resonate with me. Um, and I think that's why I was able to make couple a couple of friends when I was younger. I try to make friends with the right people. Um, I don't want anyone to kind of drag me down anymore because people are akin to emotional vampires nowadays, and you literally choose to let them. Here's one thing you choose: it's you choose to let those kinds of people into your life, and you can also choose when you can just leave them behind for better horizons and the possibility even of a better tomorrow, because the possibility of a better tomorrow is better than no possibility at all. And yeah. I don't really like I don't really like solving my problems with alcohol usage. I think there are a lot better things you can do to kind of enhance your understanding of just everything. um, I think as a species, we have lost true contact with our true origins, and we've lost it to these textbooks that were written by Freemasons, and I really don't think they want us to know. I don't really think they want us to know our capabilities and our potential. Because once you've unlocked that, that's essentially the cheat code to the universe, is discovering your own kind of potential and your own rhythm almost. Yeah, you make music your own way without even doing it. Just by existing. It gives you a chance to live a better existence. So if there's anything I can provide people with, it's hope. I think a lot of people need that right now. But yeah, I could be wrong about everything I'm talking about. I certainly don't have all the answers. I just have more questions, if anything. I have a lot of questions about Antifa and Black Lives Matter and where their true intentions really lie. I'm just wondering who's really on our side when they have the power to pull the strings. I don't trust Kamala Harris. I think I just think the whole Biden thing is so unimaginable. It is so strange that we just let these people just walk up and get elected. I don't know. I also have questions about the connection between Obama and Biden, and I wonder if they were actually in cahoots during Obama's presidency, and I just wonder who knew what at what time and how we ended up here. I don't know if I should really believe Anthony Fauci. I'm even starting to think that Jordan Peterson is a bit of a shill. But like I said, I could be wrong. All of this is open to interpretation. And all of it is how you respond to it. And this kind of thing is how I'm responding to the current state of the world. I understand, believe it or not, that life is unfair, and I understand, believe it or not, that it can be hard. There's just certain people won't cut me some slack about that stuff, and I don't really care who sees me as immature or I don't know. I feel like I've been doing pretty good. It's just I get lost in my head a lot, and I get lost in how I feel, and I lose myself in these intense emotions that I have. I don't really know what is in store for me tomorrow at this point. And I'm kind of tired of just being in a constant state of not knowing what's around the corner, and I'm tired of not being able to trust the media. I'm tired of not being able to just differentiate the truth from the false. And I'm tired of having to go to someone else just to ask, hey, is this true or whatever? Did this actually happen? I should be able to come up with those conclusions on my own at this point. I should be able to just trust myself as my own source. And I just feel like I'm locked into place amidst all of this frustration. And I really don't mean to project negativity. And I really don't think I'm doing that. I think I'm turning this into something worthwhile. I'm turning this shitty deck of cards into something that has some form of tangible value to me and something that I can look forward to doing pretty much whenever I feel like it. Nobody has the right to take away your voice, and no one has the right to say that you can't think this way or do this or whatever. It just gets to a point where you just get tired of taking it, and I think I'm at that point. But yeah, I see that one person has stuck through this entire thing, so thank you for that. I can go on and rant about just everything that I've been seeing recently and just how I think it's just totally off from how we just typically act as people. We should be willing to just open doors for strangers, and we should be willing to just, I don't know. There just feels like something's missing in all of us, not just me. I don't know if I got here from just the disorganization and dissociation of just current events. I've been trying to keep track of it all, but you just get lost in everything that's being posted by our only source of just what we can try to gather these days. It feels more like a maze, if anything. I feel like we go through a lot more as grown children nowadays, which is basically all we are. And I don't want to believe that there's no hope, because just look at what happened with World War II or the Spanish flu or H1N1 or even stuff like 9/11. We've been able to come back from all of that darkness. I don't see why this set of events can't be any different. But this is what happens when you question things all the time. And this is what happens when you just see the world clearly for what it is. And this is what happens when you don't want to hide, when you just don't want to hide anymore. And I'm tired of feeling like I'm hiding. I'm just tired of feeling lame, of just feeling this lame mindset, I guess. I don't know. Oh, my cancer thing is going away. um, there's there's this ingrown thing on my chest, but it seems to be growing away. It's not actually cancer. It's just a thing that I have. It used to look like a third nipple though, and when I first saw it, it terrified me because I thought it was a legitimate cancer scare in my book. Um, yeah. And God knows what I'm doing to my lungs with this beautiful thing right here. Um, it's just a silly little thing that I got addicted to in high school. Um, and I wish I had the capabilities to overcome it, overcome the addiction. Um, but I don't know. I just think I need more friends, and more people that I can just surround myself with, and maybe I'll have more of a chance to consider quitting. Yeah, I'm just using it to fill something that isn't there. But I'm surprised we have 15 minutes left. This is just my way of observing every thought. And it's my way of just letting everything just flow out of me. And I'm sorry. I say a lot. This is the and my voice is also kind of monotone. I took drama class for 4 years in high school just to break out of kind of that social anxiety kind of vibe. Um, and I feel like it's helped me a lot actually, just facing the real world and just knowing that faking it till you make it is honestly the best option that you have. Yeah. Sometimes you don't want to fake it anymore though, and sometimes you just have to get things out of your head in a different kind of way. Um, I think there's just something more to doing this than writing my thoughts down and looking over them and reading them. I don't know. I think this is a more impactful way of getting my ideas across in the modern world, I guess. We shouldn't just be subjected to the kind of fear that we go through on a daily basis nowadays. Um, it's poison, and they're perpetuating this poison onto us constantly. And it makes you feel like you're going insane. It makes you feel like you're turning into the Joker, and it's just this really disgusting thing to experience. I don't I don't wear a mask when I'm out in public. I just wear it at work because it's just the decent thing to do, I think. But other than that, we shouldn't hide our faces anymore. We just shouldn't be locked into how we're living. Who just popped in now? um, but yeah, there's 10 minutes left. I'm gonna upload clips from this talk onto my channel so other people can look at it. Um, but yeah, the main gist is I'm tired of being a depressed little shit all the time. And that's just one of those flaws that I have. And it's just something you have to chip away at a daily basis if you want to envision yourself living a happy life. And even that term, just happy, is so outlandish nowadays. Um, but I still think there's there's a chance for us to reach that point again. Um, there's a lot of fear we have to work through individually, and there's a lot of things we have to face now that we know who's really on our side, and just who's against us as a species. Because, like it or not, we're on a lower rung than the 1%, basically. Um, and it's an unfair fucking rung to hang off of. um, but yeah, I think the people who have lived a difficult life are more apt to see reality for what it is, and I don't think they. I think the people that have lived rough lives just see everything for what it is, and I think we need people like that in Congress. Even I think we need young people with new ideas and progressive ideas, trying to solve and figure this new country out, basically, because I don't feel like it's the United States of America anymore. um, but who knows? This is all just coming from the heart, and I'm just trying to be as honest as I can be. It's pointless to just live a lie at this point. Um, it's pointless not to just focus on your future and to take a stand for your future and for, I don't know, there's a lot to dissect and break down in the next coming months, and there's no shortage of things to talk about. Um, there's no there's if there's no there's just going to be no break from now on from the nonsense and the bullshit that we go through daily, and I think it's just better for us to accept that at this point. um if I can leave you with anything positive, it's just that there's still hope for humanity to come back from what's been happening over the course of the last 8 months. And they just want to make us feel like this is the new normal. And I just think that's a horrible, horrible interpretation of. I think that's just it's just horrible. It's a horrible thing to say. um, if I don't want to raise my kids in this new normal, if that's the case. And we all know the government wants us to have kids, so the money can just keep going around and spending around the economy before it inevitably crashes and lives are destroyed and America will go up in flames, which is kind of what's happening right now. um, but yeah, I'm kind of scared of how the world will look in even the next 2 years alone. If it can change this drastically within this span of 8 months, I just wonder what kind of Borderlands kind of shit is around the corner. Like, I don't know. It's like a mental, just retard bomb just blew up on all of us. And this is kind of the aftershocks of that retard bomb. um, but yeah, we only have 5 minutes left. thank you for sticking around, and thank you for joining me and listening to me. I'm surprised anyone actually came, if I'm being honest. It means a lot to me. So thank you. And yeah, just hang in there like the rest of us are doing. I know how it is, and I don't know, get I get it. And I don't know. I get so jumbled up in all of this stuff, and it- I feel a little bit better just combing through and just looking at this situation differently. Um, it turned out to be a little bit better than just writing out how I feel all the time. I don't know, there's just something about talking that I really like, and there's something about just I don't know, there's a lot of deep stuff going on with communication, and I think we lack and I think we lack all of that today. Um, I don't know, I just think most of these problems can be solved if we just talked it out, and that is the thing that most men are afraid of doing, and most men are in power right now. And they don't really want to talk stuff out, but we shouldn't just stoop to their level and just go guns blazing to the White House. We still should just recognize that these are people with the same kind of flaws that we have. But yeah, I surely didn't expect to live through this kind of time period as a kid. Um, and I think it actually kind of matured me in a way, because I don't know, I just feel like my priorities are a lot more intact now than they used to be. Um, because you're just faced with the fact that nobody's gonna hold your hand anymore, and nobody's just gonna guide you through life. Like, I don't know, you have to be a teacher and your own student unto yourself. And I think all of us have the ability to do this. I there's a lot more that I could put into words, but I don't really have the time anymore. But yeah, I don't know if I get a good response from this kind of test run, I guess I'll do it more often. It's definitely something new for me, and it's something new that I'm getting used to. I'd improve this kind of setup, of course, as time goes on. But this is the kind of thing that I kind of want to do from now on. Joe Rogan is obviously a huge inspiration. Um, if anything, he's kind of like he is basically a father figure to me at this point. If that I don't care if that sounds weird. But yeah, he is an incredible person to look up to, and I don't know, that's just how I feel though. But yeah, we have 1 minute left now, so I wish all of you a good night, and stay safe out there wherever you are. And yeah, just don't be a stupid little monkey. That's all I want from you. Don't be a stupid little monkey. All right. Have a good night.